Chapter 25. A flurry of messages slipped crowded Milo's desktop. 3 half-hearted media follow-ups on the Marsh murders, and 2 deputy chiefs questioning confirmation that Milo had gotten that message about non-BOLO on Travis Huck. He played target practice with his wastebasket and kept reading. All right, here's a keeper. Mr. Alston, Spuddy Ware, and another one, Selena's brother Mark, up in Oakland. Brothers probably wants follow-up. Grab yourself a phone in the main room and find out. After Reed left, Milo called Ware, switched to speaker, so we can share the misery. The usual paralegal answered, but Ware came on quickly. Lieutenant, thanks for getting back to me. Ware's smooth voice sounded higher, tighter. What's up, sir? I'm getting concerned. Simon hasn't responded to my calls or my emails, and when I phoned the Peninsula in Hong Kong, they informed me he checked out last week. I immediately got in touch with Ron Battler at Global, but he had no idea where Simon was. And I got him to go through Simon's recent purchases, and we found that Simon indeed flew back to the States, but he hasn't used his credit card since. Back to L.A.? No, San Francisco. Is that unusual, Mr. Vander? Is that unusual for Mr. Vander? Not really, said Ware. Simon and Nadine love San Francisco, go for art fairs, that kind of thing. They generally stay at the Ritz, but there's no record of either of them checking in. Does Mr. Vander generally keep such a low profile? He's a low-key person, no question about that, but he's generally good about responding to my calls. And he always uses credit cards, carries very little cash. That's not all, Lieutenant. I tried to reach Nadine in Taiwan, was told by her family that she and Kelvin left at around the same time Simon flew out of Hong Kong. Did her family say why? No, said Ware, but there's something of a language gap, so it could be a family vacation wanting to be together. Yes, of course, but the credit cards, Lieutenant. Both Simon and Nadine charge everything. I phoned Simon to see if she knew anything about this, and she didn't, and she grew extremely upset about Travis Huck. She thinks Huck's harmed her family. She doesn't know what to think, Lieutenant. Would Huck know their whereabouts in San Francisco? I really can't say, and after I spoke with Simon, I left I should do something. So I went over to the house and I looked around. It does appear as if Huck's jumped ship. His room is empty, everything's been cleared out, and I suppose that he could be construed as guilt over something. I just don't know. Milo mouthed a silent shit, rubbed his face. How thoroughly did you search? I opened some drawers, looked around, he's gone. You went by yourself? No, with Simon. I felt that as a close family member, given exigent circumstances, she'd have a right to enter the premises. In fact, I don't know why I didn't think of that before. When you ask me for entry, what's your feeling about Huck's clearing out? Hard to say, sir. I suppose it's possible, said Ware, that we got spooked after being questioned by the people. But still, if there's nothing to worry about, why flee? Or maybe he simply up and quit, the typical California thing. Flaky. Seems to come with the weather, Lieutenant. Milo said, when can we do our own walkthrough? Say when, and I'll have someone from the office meet you there. How about in an hour? An hour? I didn't realize that there's meetings all day. Let me see here. More meetings until noon. Tomorrow. How about 11 a.m. tomorrow? I'll send Sandra, my best paralegal. Have you checked the beach house? Simon and I had a brief look, and it seemed to us no one had been there for a while. I'll make sure that Sandra has keys to the beach house as well. Thank you, sir. I'm sure the family's fine, said Ware, and there's absolutely no reason for them to not be. Milo phoned a source at Homeland Security and verified Simon, Nadine, and Kelvin Vander's flight schedules. All 3 had traveled first class on Singapore Airlines, with Simon entering SFO a day before his wife and son. The next call was to the Seattle money managers, where he conjoined a KG Ronald W. Battler, certified financial planner, and confirmed that nothing beyond airfare had been billed to the Vanders' credit cards. Do they have a place in Northern California, a home? Said Battler. No. What about a rental property? No. Any idea where they could be, sir? Of course not. Of course. Battler said, I manage their money. I don't get involved in their personal life. Mr. Ware seemed concerned. I'm sure he is. Why's that? He's more involved with their personal life. Mo returned to the office and gave a thumbs up. Mayor Green didn't want follow-up. He recalled something else Salinas told him. Suddenly memory jogged, said Milo. My feeling is that he didn't want to bring up in front of his mother. Apparently, Selena had started dating someone a few months ago before she died. Mark can't remember exactly when but he thinks that it was 3-4 months ago when she told him. An older guy. How old? She didn't say. Mark says that she was embarrassed about it, and so could be there was a serious age gap, and the juicy part is that she kept up the confession habit of hers. Told Mark that the guy liked it rough, and so did she. The two of them fit together like a socket and a wrench. Her words. Sounds like something a guy would like or would tell her. I agree, Lou. So now we have a dominance thing, consistent with Sherlin and Demara. Maybe on that level, Selena wasn't that different from the others. What do you think, Doc? I said, it does put things in a new light. Milo said, an older guy into rough. She say anything else about him? Reed said, no, it's likely some swinger she met at one of those parties, right? Milo said, older. Simon Vander would sure qualify, and so would Huck. He's 37, which is 11 years older than Selena, and the net does seem to be tightening, and things could be even nastier than we thought. He summarized the news of Vander's return and disappearance. Reed said, Simon's sounding more like a victim than a bad guy, unless he did bad things and needs to keep a low profile. To me, it still smells like Huck's our prime guy. We need to find him. We really do, Milo. First time he'd addressed the boss by name. Optimal workplace adjustment. That's the end of chapter 25 of the book Bones. And if you like my content, please subscribe. Thank you.